You guys are
We're live
some
now.
some behind the scenes shenanigans as usual.
Oh, man,
Wel-
what a day.
welcome everyone. Welcome to the 37th edition of the Home Theater Hub. As usual, whenever I'm involved with technology, we seem to have some technical difficulties. I'm not running the board today, but our special guest, Mr. Jeff, his power just went out right prior to us getting ready to join the show. So hopefully his power will come back on shortly because he is our theater tour of the evening.
Yep.
So hopefully he'll rejoin us. Mr. Eric's in the house, starting right off this morning. How are you, sir? This afternoon, this evening, and good night. One of those three, right? How's it going today, Eric?
Good, man. I'm doing good.
Awesome, awesome. I see you got that blue light around the theater running today. Looking very nice. I like that. That looks good.
Thanks, brother.
Mr. Paul, what's going on with you, sir? How was your week?
It was good, busy. I got a lot of stuff at work going on, but I added another subwoofer just for looks. No
Okay.
reason. I had three my near field subs. One of
Mm-hmm.
them was a high gloss, and two of them were the uh, whatever wood veneer, and I wanted two gloss so they would match, and also it would match the whenever I delegate that to just a two-channel setup, I will have dual subs for the Prime Wireless system instead
So
of
you're
one.
saying near field, so it's behind your couch,
Yeah, it's behind my
hidden,
couch, uh,
hidden
and yes, it's
under a
underneath.
box.
It's kind of underneath the coffee thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep, and again, only for when I delegate, and I wanted two for the Prime Wireless, so it because eventually that'll just be the Barcade sound system.
Okay.
So and
All
I
right.
wanted two
Makes
gloss.
sense.
That's it's like I said, no other reason. And at a couple $100, I picked it up on the old Facebook Marketplace, so it was
Okay.
like
So give us more details. What did you pick up?
it was just another SB 1000. Uh,
Okay. Very
and
good. A
also,
couple $100
I,
for that sounds like a fantastic deal.
I also swapped out my couch. I got
Oh,
a
nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember you telling us about that last week, and I asked
yeah,
you were
yeah.
you able to put some 18-inch subs in the bottom of each
Oh man, yeah,
seat
that
area.
it literally has holes. Like you could put a 15 down it. I was like, good God, like all for logistics of packaging and stuff. And I was like, but extra bonus, man, you could zip a subwoofer right
Dude,
up inside.
you have to do that just one time. You have to have Jessica come over and just put put the speaker in the seat. Not don't tell her, right? Don't give
Mm-hmm.
her any inclination, and just hit her with it. You have to
She,
just do it
she
one
she
time.
won't be surprised. She's already been to a lot of these local places, so she's already experienced the boss platform and its overly done scenario even. So she would just be like, really, you did that? That would be her
yep.
response. But other than that, I don't think I did. Yeah, I didn't do any other
Weren't you going to go camping? Did you wind up going camping?
yeah, I did go camping. Oh, there was one other thing. If anyone wants a reason to hate Apple, which I use Apple products, but here is a reason to hate it. The irony of this is blows my mind. So this week I also had a major storm last night. I mean, just massive. Like a couple of the lightning strikes literally shook the entire house, like louder
Wow.
than. I mean, we're talking it like resonated the whole house. I was like, oh Jesus, like is that a tornado? I thought it was a tornado there for a second. I was like, oh crap. But anyways, so power blinks. On the power blinks, my Apple TV loses a CEC connection sometimes, so it can't control the volume and
Hmm.
stuff. So I didn't think anything of it, but then later that evening I sat down and I was like, oh crap, it's not working. And I tried to get it to work and it looked like the firmware updated, so I was pissed. And the receiver said it needed a firmware. Long story short, I did my normal processes And then I just went to bed, woke up, worked on it this evening, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna troubleshoot this from scratch. Like I didn't know the power went out. I unplugged all the HDMI. I was like, okay, 1, 2, 3. I was like, wait, 4? Why is there 4 HDMI? Like, what's that one? I was like, oh crap, I forgot. Whenever I got the new subwoofer, I just placed it, used my computer and root to just make sure it didn't screw anything up. It didn't. And then come to find out, what was messing up my CEC Apple TV from operating was an HDMI Apple adapter for my MacBook. The irony
Oh, wow.
of that. I was like, really? Like, and it wasn't even plugged into my computer. Like, it's literally was an HDMI cable plugged into a, like the USB-C to HDMI
Mhm.
/ USB-C adapter so you can do HDMI. It wasn't plugged in. It was just sitting there laying. But just that alone broke CEC from working. And I was trying, like, what the heck is going on? I was doing the power cycling, resetting, making sure all the settings are correct. And it ended up being another Apple product that prevented the Apple product from friggin' working. I was like, oh, you gotta be shitting me. I was so pissed. Because whenever I was counting all, I was like, okay, NVIDIA Shield, I'm gonna unplug it. Okay, Zadoot, I'm gonna unplug it. That way it's not
Right.
messing with any of the CC. Apple TV, okay, unplugged. 1, 2, wait, what's this fourth one? And then I looked over and I saw the little white Apple. I was like, oh, you're shitting me. I guarantee you that's what it is. It's not even
That's
plugged in
crazy.
anything.
Hey,
Not
that's,
even
that's
plugged
What's
into
more-
CEC for you, man.
I bet
Yeah.
it would have also broke HDCP if you had a display on that. I actually had similar problems where in my room, I know we haven't toured it yet for some reason, Ike, but sorry, I didn't throw that out there. But
Say what?
my room,
I
my
missed it.
room's got
My
my room's
headset.
got both. My room's got both a TV and a projector, and I found that if I have them both plugged into a processor, I tried it with 2 different Denons, and then I moved to HTTP1 monolith processor. All of them do the same thing. Don't throw that up again. Oh my gosh, it's so horrible. Paul, what are you doing with your life, man?
Oh man,
Sour pickle beer.
But
I see.
anyways, if you have multiple HDMI's plugged in, and yeah, it throws off HDCP. It doesn't like it.
Wow.
If both displays aren't on at the same time, yeah.
While we're on the topic, this will be the next one.
PB&J, that ought to be good.
I would dig that one. I would
Yeah.
do it.
Okay.
I would definitely do that one.
All right, then you're still allowed to drink with me.
I would still do the pickle one. I would do the pickle one and
You
side
know,
eye
you
you
would
the
be
whole time.
surprised.
But I would
Pickle flavored. It is, it's not for everyone, but it's good if you like any pickle flavored at all. It's really really good. But it's kind of like peanut butter stout. That was to me the first time I heard it. That sounds like the most disgusting beer in the world. Drinking peanut butter. I was like, that's what I was envisioning. But no, it's like chocolate. It's like drinking more of a chocolate stout, but like with a little bit of that Reese's peanut butter cup.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, chocolate and peanut butter goes together. I was actually
just
right
like,
when you said
what?
that.
Just
Peanut butter
sounds
stout.
disgusting. Peanut butter
No.
stout. Like,
So just to prolong the conversation a little bit longer, because we're still trying to wait for some people to join. When I was in kindergarten, this is how a long time ago, my teacher put us all in a circle and made us all eat a pickle. And I told her I did not like the pickle. She still persisted to make me eat the pickle. And about 3 seconds later, I lost it all over her shoes. So it just came up. And then I went and told my mom, and my mom went up there and just tore that lady a new ass, man. I mean, it was.
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, yeah, I don't know.
I will
That's
say
old
though,
times for you, though. It's like
Yeah,
Don,
you're
yeah.
not allowed to be intelligent enough to know yes or no on a pickle at your age yet. It's like, yeah, you are. You know real quick what you do and don't like.
Oh, yeah. So how about you, Ike? How was your vacation, sir?
It was great. It went by really quickly, and
Oh,
I just want to go back and But I've spent the entire week just catching up with work and recovering. But we had a great time.
That's awesome. Good to hear.
Yep.
Anything new going on in the home theater? Any new reviews or anything like that that we need that you can lift your embargo on?
I know someone just asked me about the Dune Media Player. I have it in. I haven't even touched the box because it's just sitting down. I think it's downstairs. Not even made it upstairs yet. But yes, I have one of the new Dune players in for review.
Do you know which model?
Crap.
That's enough.
It's the middle one. It's the middle range one, not the
Oh,
top of
okay.
the line,
That's
but
true. They
the
only
second.
have 3, right? They have like a
Yeah, it has a single drive bay. I know that one has a single drive bay. What else? I have the Wim Ultra that I need to review. I have a bunch of review stuff to do this weekend, man. I have the Wim Ultra and there's a company that is supposedly making the replacement for the Nvidia Shield. Yeah, it's wow. They if you're going off the specs, it looks like it's gonna retire the Nvidia Shield. It's called Buzz TV. They sent me one of their players in for review, and then there's another one that is coming out soon. I think I'm not on any embargo for that one, but it's coming out soon and it's supposed to be coming out tomorrow. So I got plenty of work to do. Let's see. And now I got Eric's home theater. I got to edit this weekend too. I finally made it over to Eric's place and we spent a couple of hours, shooting B-rolls and all that fun stuff. So it's about to be a busy weekend for me. Yep.
That's cool. That's definitely cool.
Yeah.
So we got that. Got a bunch of stuff on the plate. Like you, I was very busy. Also, still I didn't. I still got my 4 pieces of drywall to hang. My son's birthday just went by. We took him out to indoor playground. My wife actually had to work on his birthday, unfortunately. So we're going to be celebrating with family and stuff this weekend. So I doubt any more progress will get done this weekend. Plus, I'm super busy with both of my jobs. I got to move a full office. We started packing and everything else like that today. So, but yeah, it's been super busy
get
for
out
me
my
too.
business, Rich. Don't be like that, man.
That's so funny.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, I can't get this camera to pull up, but I literally still have the Strato S sitting in the same spot as I did when I unboxed it on the table. That's how busy I have been. So,
I know,
but
man.
we also had Frankie Kenneth. He asked us, "Is anybody going to audio advice?" So
Yeah,
let's pull up that here that I got.
yeah. I had a last minute change in plan. I'm actually registered, everything, hotel, but man, I was like, I can't make it, man. I had to be honest with the way I was feeling about traveling, and it was like,
Yeah,
nope,
yeah,
nope, nope, nope,
yeah.
not doing it.
So audio advice starts this. What is it? Tomorrow, right? Tomorrow. Yeah, August 2nd.
Yeah.
Today. Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Once
Starts
you've
tomorrow.
seen one snail speaker, you've seen all snail speakers. although the breast speakers were that was new.
Yeah. So
those,
from what Michael was saying on his channel, he was saying that they're supposed to have 11 experience rooms there for home theater. So I was trying to look. I was trying to look through here to see like what was going to be.
Well, that's cool.
What was going to be on their exhibits. So, but
the map, the usually that's kind of the
I click on this theater layout. No, so they're gonna. Let me see if I can find the map up here.
Yeah, sometimes they hide. it.
Nope.
Maps. There we go. Maps.
There we go. I was gonna say that's usually the because the
That's how
big
you know Michael didn't design the website.
So it looks
now
like there's going to be Anthem, Paragon, JVC, in another room, NAD and Dolly, which I wish I could go because I really would love to hear Dolly. I've been wanting to hear some of those speakers for a long time. They have a air motion tweeter just like I like. So I'm not sure if that's going to be a total theater experience there or how that would be. But if you count that 1-2, because it's a big room, then you got Sony, Focal, and CAF 3, CAF, NAD, and Epson 4, Bowers Wilkins, Marantz, and Classy 5. Then another room, same thing, 6. Denon and DefTech 7. JVC and Focal 8. I think these rooms over here are going to be your conference rooms from what I was reading, I believe. 9. So I'm not sure, but there's definitely a lot of rooms, going on. A lot of great
Oh, Technics is still there. Wow.
Theory Audio. I would love to hear Theory. They're more on the pro side.
JBL. That's
So
nice.
yeah, I mean, if you guys are in the area, I highly suggest that you go ahead and head on out there to the Audio Advice live show. It seems to be getting bigger and bigger every year. So since it's been going on, so I mean, I would have loved to go on also, but like you said, I just plans my around my son's birthday and everything else like that. So I just couldn't make it up there.
I bet you that's an expensive room. Holy moly.
Yeah.
This is nice. Kinetics noise control. I'd love to see some of their products too. Not just speakers. You're seeing, stuff that devices that help you soundproof your room, and like we talked about when Matt was on the show, Matt Brolick from Brolick Hi-Fi.
Yeah, the golden ears would be also good, man.
Yeah, golden ears are good.
REL is surprising. That would be a good one for. I would love to see an REL room.
Yeah. So Macintosh, obviously, a couple rooms for Macintosh. Perlison's got a room.
Cheap.
What is Victrola? Is that just all 2-channel? That seems like an old school brand.
Oh God.
It might be.
Yeah, Victrola. They like invented some. The Victrola.
It might be 2-channel because they tend to have a couple of 2-channel.
I don't know
setups.
if it's the same company or brand, but it's like the original type of record play.
Because I think the last time at the very top floor was mostly last year was mostly 2-channel.
And I'll tell you that bottom right there, Perlison. I'll just say I wasn't a huge fan of their home theater setup, but their 2-channel is pretty good. They had a really good 2-channel. That's worth checking out. If that's what they're doing.
They make turntables and all that. So yeah, I think that third floor you're gonna see a lot of that's top floor. There's gonna be a lot of 2-channel.
Yeah, the floors, the upper floors, you'll see a lot of 2-channel stuff. I think.
Look, they got Johnny Cash in there. That's old school.
Okay,
baby.
so it's not Victrola like you and I are thinking about it, Paul. This is Victrola, as in they just recreated the brand of what that term meant for us old guys.
Probably. Well, it might be the same company. I don't know, but yeah, I doubt it. But yeah.
Wireless speakers.
Yeah.
So they got.
What I knew that they were just a record, but they've been around for a long time.
Yeah. Outdoor speakers, jukeboxes.
Nice.
Didn't know they made outdoor
Really?
speakers.
Wow.
Huh. Yeah. So yeah, I'm
most relevant.
not familiar with that brand either. So, but yeah, no, I mean it's definitely an interesting interesting show this year. You know, a lot of great brands there. So also
Well,
you
there
got
you go.
Trinoff, MadVR,
There's
Stewart.
there's an Epson brand in that top left. That's
Yeah,
I don't know any
Kef
speakers.
NAD, Kef.
Yeah, Kef,
So they'll have Kef speakers,
NAD,
NAD, and Epson. So
and and NAD
and then
probably.
over here in these, you got in the lower lobby, you got Sonance, Kinetics, noise control again, Kaleidoscape, Trinoff, MadVR, and Stewart. Which
Well,
now's a good time to go ahead and segue right on into the news.
yep.
So 2 weeks ago, we got an outstanding announcement from Kaleidoscape announcing a more affordable player. I wouldn't say it's for everyone still, but it is more affordable than their entry line before by several thousands of dollars. And just this week, the MadVR NV Core was announced, which their top of the line model is right at about $15,000 MSRP. And they decided to go ahead and bring out this box, the NV Core, which is what, a third of the price?
Yep.
$49.95 to get into it, with
Yep.
the option to upgrade for another $1,000 to unlock some more features. So I mean, those two items just shocked the entire home theater network. I mean, I was like, wow, I did not expect Mad VR. I know a lot of people were asking Kaleidoscape, and that
Yeah.
was the biggest thing. When you talked about Mad VR, or when somebody talked about, or did a review on Mad VR, you didn't see the bashing and the hating that much like you did with the Kaleidoscape, due to the prices and stuff like that. But so that's why I was very, very shocked to see this actually come out, for a lower price point, and it's fantastic. It's great, and I know why they did it, because instead of you going and building your own PC and using the free software, now you're probably about the same price for exactly what you're getting out of the free software from the Mad VR, the free software. So now you just have everything incorporated in a box yourself. It definitely targets that crowd of people that say, "Hey, I want to go ahead and build myself a home PC that's going to process video for me." So it was very, very genius in my eyes to go ahead and bring this particular unit out. Ike, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting to see them come up with it, and the price point. I know, yes, there's still gonna be folks who, yeah, let's see, how do I word it? There's still gonna be folks who think it's still too expensive, but it's one of those, where there's not a lot of competition, right? There's not a lot of options that can give you what this does. Now, is it a primary requirement in a home theater? No, it's a niche product, right? It does great stuff, but you can still have great time without it, and I think it's good that they came out with it because it opens up the market for them to a lot of people. And I think a lot of people will hop onto this one. I think if you had $5,000 to spend, this is probably a better home theater experience device than the Stratos V
I will agree
is.
with you.
If
And
I had $5,000, I'll go for this and not even worry. Now that's if you already have, like, your NAS setup like many of us have. If you already have a developed NAS system and everything, this will enhance it way more than having a Stratos V.
Yeah, I agree 100%. There are multiple people that I talk to that have bought a video processor, not this particular brand, but that I talk to on a regular basis, and they say by far the best thing in their rack is a video processor. So we there's two main players right now, Lumigen and and MadVR, and Lumigen is right around the same price point as this model here, and it does pretty much the same thing as this core model is doing.
Yeah, but to me, it's still one of those tools, right? That you can have a complete home theater experience. So I'm still one of those people who would say, why spend $12,000 on a JVC NZ 900, or don't quote me on that price. It's probably not the correct price, but you spend all this money to get a good JVC projector or top of the line projector, and then you pay 3,500 to get a good great screen or whatever, and then you still got to pay $5,000 for a video processor. It's like, I'm still like, it's like, why? Like,
And
why
by the
do I
way,
need
you were
that?
just off by about $12,000 for the N900.
Exactly.
Just,
So
just
it's like you'll spend $22,000, right, for a projector, and then you need another $5,000 device to process.
how many rooms did we go in at M Wave that
I
had
know,
two
I get
hundred thousand dollar projectors on them,
I
and
get
they
it,
still had a Mad
but
VR?
but this is what I'm saying, right? If your projector is $10,000, $12,000, why do you need a device that is half the price of it to get it better? You see what I'm saying? It's like your
Yeah.
NZ 900 is $22,000. It is 4 times the price of this device. Why should you have to need this device to make that device more better? Like and yes, there's the whole, it does great things, right? Like, for example, I have the Seymour manual masking system and all of that, and honestly, that stuff is a game changer. If you done gray bars, my goodness, I thought that I didn't know how bad gray bars actually were until I put a manual mask
Right.
on that stuff, and you don't see gray bars. It yeah, but it still does all the whole linear stretching and all of that great stuff. But it just, it's kind of irritating that you would get good projector and all of that, and then you still
I mean,
need
look, you
this.
can't.
It
They
has a
can't
forty
fit.
sixty. It has a 4060 graphics card in it, and what is that? That's what, the 4060 is probably like an $800 $900 graphics card right now, right? And so, but it's good, But
I
like I
mean,
said,
you still got the processing. You still got
yeah,
it's got HDMI 2.1 in it. So we can actually go ahead and look at some of the comparison.
yeah,
Uh,
it's like I said. If you want to improve your home theater experience, this is to me much better than investing in the Stratos V. To be
so
honest,
no, I
but
100% agree with you, and you know how I feel about Kaleidoscape. So, it's the video processor definitely enhances
I'm gonna
100%.
yeah, I'm gonna interject my shorter.
Absolutely, go ahead.
It is a great product. It's for people that are looking for that next upgrade. If they don't want to spend $15,000, it is definitely better priced.
yeah,
But it still is not. If it was $3,000, it kind of like the Strato V. There's a certain amount of time and learning and stuff. And if you ask anyone, hey, will you build me a PC for $500? Someone will probably build you a PC for $500, even if they have to learn it. I mean, if they have some basic knowledge. But anyways, my point is, it's still really good. I understand why they're at the price point that they are. It's not a bad price point, but it's still at a price point where it's arguable for any tech enthusiast that does build their own stuff. But at the same time, this does have the licensing to pass the HDCP and stuff, so that if people, that's why the price is the way it is. So the thing is, whenever you do your own PC and stuff like that, you can still get it cheaper. You can technically probably build a PC that will do MadVR for $1,200, $1,500. You will spend a lot of time doing that. This is a $5,000 product, but you can pass any device to it, where whenever you're doing MadVR on your own, everything has to be housed in your PC and come from that device, unless you do additional other things on top of that, which may or is even more complicated and more things in the chain. Let's put it that way. But it's not bad. I think it's a great move.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think this device fits more in the line with, let's say you purchased that $30,000 or $26,000 N900, right? You're not, more than likely, you're not really. I wouldn't say you're not going to think about it, but you're definitely going to want to enhance, and you're probably going to go ahead with this Extreme. Let's go on the other end of the spectrum. The Extreme is 15 grand, right? And I may be selling it short. I'm not sure. The last I remember it was about 15 grand. So, let's go on the other end of the spectrum. Let's say you purchase the lower end JVC, which is the NZ NZ7, or even the lower bulb JVC, or even the Epson LS12000. Let's say you purchase one of those. Now, instead of saying, well, you know what, I paid $6,000 for my projector, I can't see paying $15,000 for an Extreme. But now I can see paying this
like
$5,000 for it, because I'm right there with my projector.
It's priced well, but it's still not priced so cheap that your technical people will not still argue the price. But for anyone that's not, it is at a price where it's like, okay, it's convenient. I don't have to get an OS. I don't have to install OS. I don't have to install hardware. I don't have to worry about drivers. I don't have to.
We know somebody that does beta testing for the free software, right?
I personally know someone.
And by far,
it's definitely not for him. It's definitely not for that guy.
Yeah. But by far, he's told us several times, look, this thing's not easy. Right.
Yeah, but my question is, and this
it's
is
easy for Eric.
So
right?
this
Eric,
is like a poll. This is like a poll to everyone.
I can't get it worded, right? So we'll just go with it. All right.
That's why I was like, what about you, Eric?
So
go ahead, Eric. What do you think?
For all the people that are watching, how many people currently use a MadVR PC or some type of PC solution for MadVR? Because we talk about it like it's a lot of people. Like if you polled 10 home theater enthusiasts, there's probably only 2 people out of that 10, right, that have a MadVR PC. So
really not even that, because this segues. At first, Eric, what's your thought on it before I segue into the another same product, but what do you think?
Eric comes from the technical background also, so I want to hear your perspective also.
So generally speaking, so when the Stratus came, the announcements for the Stratus came out, my thought behind that is exactly what you're saying, Paul. It was unjustifiable even at 5K. It's a terabyte of space. What did they say? 10 movies or something. for me, from a technical perspective, I could build that machine for much cheaper. However, they're obviously paying for licensing and all that kind of jazz that goes behind that.
It's not
So I would
necessarily.
ask you to take that leap to MadVR. They're doing exactly the same thing. So what we're not seeing here, and you all know the community I represent in Build Montage, we had hours of conversation about this machine today, and I dug into it, researched comparisons, went through all that route. But what we're not understanding is it's not just hardware. It's also the licensing that goes behind HDCP. They have the rights to strip HDCP in order to get to the point where they're able to transcode that into a hardware card. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they have a card that then records everything and pushes it back out. They're breaking HDCP and then they're pushing HDCP back out. That's a lot of money. The other
Yeah.
piece of it is from a processing power perspective. I just recently rebuilt my server, and although it's not built for the same uses, it was $4,000 to do that because I wanted more storage, more processing. The hardware's not cheap, and yes, they're getting a markup there, but at the same time, a lot of the community doesn't realize MadVR had a publicly open piece of software for a decade or
For
more
decades.
that
Yeah.
Yep.
they've allowed people to
To
use
use.
and
Yeah.
leverage. And yes, they got the benefit of optimizing the software based off of the feedback from the community. The community is still benefiting, and what they didn't do is completely pull that
To
off
shut it
the
out.
shelf.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, they're still allowing people to use that.
Yeah.
The caveat of that is, however, that let me go, Paul. I let you go, brother. The caveat of that is, uh, gosh, dang it! Now I lost my. Damn it, Paul.
I
Yeah,
was
go
only
ahead,
gonna
please.
say I wasn't. They're not allowing people to use it. There's only one person, because behind the scenes is what people don't know. Is there's one person that's always fought to keep that. Yeah, the company does not want that.
Well, but the person that wants that is the most important person in the company that you can't
Mm-hmm.
argue. I mean,
Yeah.
to say at
So
the end of the
yeah.
day, I mean,
Just,
so people
just,
that know what
just
we're talking
saying.
about.
There's a big difference between
That's true
saying the
though.
company wants no.
Versus
The
an
company
individual
has been
wanting
trying
it.
to
Yeah.
close that, but they don't understand, dude. That is all your beta testers, because in reality, and I think Anthony had mentioned some features and stuff like. Here's the thing: they could have sold this originally for this price, probably.
Yeah.
But whenever you get into a very niche product, and it's not like the product itself. It just you want to sell it for a lot, right? Like if I make something and it
Well, you
takes me an
have
hour
to.
to make,
You
you got to
have
make
to.
money, to
Mhm.
keep going as a business. But they can't belittle the products that the higher end products that they have. So
No, and
it's a
I
tough
don't think
one.
they have. I think there's
It's
a lot of
close though.
benefits, and
Yeah.
I was going to share the comparison and go through it. I spent quite some time explaining people the comparisons. There's only a few major things that I would even point out in the comparisons. I don't, Don, were you going to get to the comparison PDF? Did you want to delve into that? I don't know how
Yeah,
geeky we
sure.
were.
I think I had it up earlier. Let
Yeah.
me
You can pull it on the
I've got it
screen,
up.
man.
Before
You
before
still
before
talk.
we
Yeah.
get to the comparison, I want to ask, because there's lots of features on there on the MadVR. But I've seen some of it, and like there's the nonlinear stretch, there's the tone mapping and stuff like that. But in reality, what is the biggest thing is just controlling the relative maximum nit level on these
Yes.
products.
right,
And
which
there's
is the
other
tone
That is the
mapping.
products.
most
But I
important
would
thing.
also I would argue that even further to the point of aspect ratios if you have a
Yes.
scope screen.
Mhm.
That
Yes,
and that's
Constant
the
height.
big for
You don't
me.
need to mess with
that's
lens
an
memory anymore.
that's an
Yep.
extra use case. But for someone like me, 16 by 9 screen, the luxury of doing it in the living room, 12-foot ceilings. I don't care about all of the nonlinear stretch, all
You're
this
right,
stuff. It's like
Paul. It's
so
not meant for you or I. It's not.
yeah,
I have a
yeah.
16
Like
by 9
I
screen.
literally
It's
am
not.
like this is still a $5,000 device that I could probably get a HD Fury to
Look,
do what
but
I
I
need.
mean, you guys are a different breed, right?
Yeah, yeah,
This is more of
exactly.
this is also a convenience product, just like the Kaleidoscape is, right?
Yep,
I don't want to.
it
I don't
is.
want.
It is.
I personally don't want to build a computer, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to tinker with it to see if it works and everything else. I want to plug this in, and I want my picture to look the best that it can. Hence the reason why I purchased the Lumigen. Now the Lumigen, I do have to learn the GUI and everything else because
Yep.
it's archaic, right? It's not user friendly, but it does the same job. So the MadVR is a lot more user friendly, right? The on screen menus and everything else like that. That is just it's just a pure convenience factor that allows you to enhance your experience. And
And
as I
Don,
mentioned before, I've talked to several people that own the Lumigen. I've talked to several people that own the Mad VR, and they will tell you by far it's the best piece of equipment in their rack.
Yeah, it's great, and that's why my frustration is towards the. It's more about. It's not even about the MadVR, right? It's more about the projector companies.
Right.
That's where my frustration is why are you making us pay for these expensive devices that requires a way cheaper device to
Well, look,
improve on? That's just
JVC
irritating.
is the only one that has the built-in tone mapping like that, right? They're the only ones that doing frame by frame tone mapping right now.
Yeah, but
So,
it's all of them, right? I'm just saying it's annoying that,
I mean, if
people are
I
still
agree,
buying Sony
yeah.
projectors and still requiring a much cheaper,
Look,
you know,
the 380 the $80,000 Sony, same thing.
yeah.
We just witnessed several Christies that definitely were enhanced by the Mad VR. So at M Wave. So Anthony said on here, he said he has an issue with the tactics. Some of the omitted features have absolutely nothing to do with the hardware. I don't like the $1,000 software lock thing. Just give the customers the features, and they can do it. It can do. So I agree, but there's also other companies doing this, right? You got Denon, you got Marantz, uh, uh, you spend $200. You got Dirac for spending for base control. You got Denon and Marantz. You pay $200 to add in Oro 3D. So it's not only
Now, what's the
Mad
thousand?
VR.
What's
Hey,
the extra
Donald, we lost your
$1,000
camera,
price
so
for that
Oh
Anthony
goodness,
was asking? What's the
this
extra
camera.
$1,000 feature for? What's that?
yeah, I think they added some additional,
So
crap.
it unlocks certain
Yeah, it unlocks
features.
certain features, and it also extends the warranty, right, from like 2 years to 4 years, and
I could speak to what's
yeah,
on the screen if you guys want me to.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
yeah. Go. We're not stopping
Okay.
you. Go ahead.
So the big thing for me, this is this right here is just simply future proof. I think I throw this away because these aspect ratios or these resolutions, you're probably going to replace this device before those are necessary. AE motion, like nobody can point out what the AI does. They have said there's going to be future releases on it. Here's the few items that I can see that are important. Dynamic subtitle overlay. So what this does is if you have to adjust the aspect ratio, and I think this was pointed out in a couple of the videos, if you have to adjust your aspect ratio, subtitles by default are at the very bottom of the screen. They're going to be cut off.
That's a good feature. That's
And
that's a good feature.
so if you don't have this, you're going to end up having those cut off and they can't be adjusted. Uh, I am one of the few, and the reason I wanted to speak up is because I do have a JVC NZ8 that has tone mapping, but this goes beyond that because the bigger thing for MadVR for me, and the reason I'm tempted to get this, is if you build a machine that we've discussed as the alternative, it's not just geeky, Don. It's you
Yeah,
have to every time you want to use that thing,
yeah,
you have to go and play with it and fiddle with it and
Hmm.
make it work, and it's people don't necessarily understand that. I represent a group of people that they are actively working on this and trying to make it work
and
with
it's
free
Windows
software.
based. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
You know, have you ever done a Windows driver update?
It's not reliable, so it's like
Yep. So this goes back
just
to
saying.
there's more to this than I completely understand, but this is gonna do some corrections for Keystone, some other issues that you would degrade the picture in order to integrate this, and these ones don't do this. The only one that does it is the MK2 Extreme, I believe it is. Yeah. So that's another thing to think about if you have a really like scenarios where you have something extreme where the projector has to be so off center that you're either keystoning or you've got something that's correcting that for you, which is something that MK2 Extreme can do, which is crazy. I don't even know. I can't even think about how they're doing it.
The only use case I could see this for is in a professional area where you're using a very expensive extreme lens to magnify the output and get a larger size than is even
Well, I think it's more of like from a key, like I've seen examples of this in previous editions where actually no, when they were advertising the MK2, they had a projector that was in a corner of a room and they had to have a mirror that then projected that picture onto a screen, but they still had to keystone and correct it. And then they showed the end result from an Envy and then from what they came up with, and it was night and day better because of how
Well,
degraded.
yeah,
There's
I
extreme
totally
case and
agree,
extreme case.
but my thing is, I look at some of these features, right? Geometry correction, which is vignetting or whatever you want to call it. Okay, at a certain point, it's like it's cheaper just to build a room to where you could center the effing projector. Like what? Like it's you could hire 20 construction dudes to at a
well,
tenth
we
of the
don't live in a
price.
Paul. We don't live in a perfect world, and sometimes you're dealing with what you're dealing with in an
Yeah, and
enterprise
that's
or
why I say in a
business environment.
commercial sense, I could see that feature.
Or even in my room. I didn't build my house. I had my theater room, and I've had to make
Yeah,
what's the word for it? I've had to make justifications or modifications based off of best case scenario for what I had to deal with.
yeah.
Um, but so yeah, I mean, in either case, but that would fix it. I still don't think personally Extreme MK2 is worth it for me. But again, I'm looking at this one simply because of the fact that uh, I have a $4,000 PC that I built in part to do some of what the new MadVR is doing. So, and a
yeah,
lot of what it's doing is uh, above and beyond what I want to deal with on a day-to-day basis, which is
Mhm.
why I'm not I'm not running a MadVR PC because I don't want to deal with that BS. But if
yeah,
I could get a MadVR for 5K, it's going to do 90% of what it does, and let's say 6K. And even if it
yep,
goes up a little bit more, $7,500, they said it's going to go up at the end of the year. Our youth man
Yeah,
said that.
yeah,
correct.
Even if it's a little bit more, like that might be worth it to me at that point. I don't have to mess with this shit. I get the best picture I could possibly get.
Yeah.
Like that, even from a technical perspective, that
Yeah.
that separates the decision between the Stratos that was announced for a 1 terabyte of space and I can't justify to this that I can justify potentially. It's still a little bit of a stretch given now I'm coming from somebody who's got I think my theater's like 75K or something. Like it's not a cheap theater. 5K is still 7K is still a decent amount of money for me,
Oh yeah.
but I might be able to justify that, right?
Yeah,
Just
no,
for a little bit
it's
so
more.
like my techie buddies that make fun of me for buying a QNAP instead of building one from scratch with TrueNAS. I'm like, dude, I just
yeah, no, so
have
for
to
me,
deal
it's
with it. That's the
yeah,
only
so
reason. Yes, I can do it. I
Yeah.
just don't want to.
so like
I mean, look,
if you're
you
like
you bought a
Eric, right?
washing machine because you don't want to wash your clothes in the river, right? So I mean,
Yeah,
with a
yeah,
washboard.
exactly. That's
I
and
mean,
everybody has their thing,
Yeah,
some people enjoy it, like the whole, like uh, just some things you enjoy doing that are more time consuming that you're like, oh yeah, that's cool. And depending on the price and what you value your time as, like the only reason that I got into like my whole Plex and this is probably, way more information than anybody wants to know. But the only reason I got into that is, um, I wear glasses, really thick glasses. I'm legally blind without my glasses. And I think whenever we were at the Hi-Fi Summit, somebody had mentioned something a couple times, and they were blind. And a lot of people don't understand that blind doesn't always mean like, oh, pitch black. It's, sometimes you just, everything's so blurry or off that you can't actually, see and do things in a normal environment. So this person had mentioned a couple comments, and I was like, dude, I said something to you like on this thread or whatever. And finally we reached out, or he responded or reached out, because I was like, hey man, I could help you out. Long story short, I got into this digital media thing, aka Plex and all this, to help someone that had a need. Just as a guy that understands, like, hey, I know what it's like to not be able to see. I have full vision, one eye, with my corrections, but dude, I get it. So I literally started down the rabbit hole of converting everything for them. So, and we're really good friends now. Just because I was like, I wanted to learn it. I wanted to do all this stuff. And bonus, I'm benefiting someone else. Just like, oh, yeah, you got to do this digital media stuff. It's amazing. And NVDA, or the voice reader, reads the titles and stuff like that. That's why I got into that. It wasn't because, I want to copy all my movies and not do this and not that. I was fine putting the fucking disc in the damn player for 20 fucking years.
Right.
I didn't give a shit, except for I had bought a movie twice because I didn't know if I still had it. So then I was like, I need to digitize my friggin' library. But anyways, that's the only reason I got down the rabbit hole. And that's why I spent all that time. It wasn't just to not buy a Kaleidoscape, right? It was, I'm doing other things. I'm benefiting other people. I'm benefiting myself at the same time. And it was a good camaraderie. I met, a lifelong friend who, you guys probably know Miguel. He's already got his theater done, and he's already friggin' upgrading.
Nice.
Now he's gonna build a false wall and do a whole. I was like, oh damn, you've been in there for like what, a month now, and you're already upgrading, man.
I'll tell you, I actually went down the same road when I finished my room. For anyone who's ever built a theater room, I think they feel the same. Like, it's frustrating, it's a pain in the ass, it's a lot of work, especially if you're doing a lot of the research on your own. And then once it's all done, you're like, well, shit, what do I do now? I started doing the same thing, just upgrading and deciding the next steps,
Well, and that's a perfect thing. Whenever you're done, you're complete, and you're just like, I still want to do something. That's why the MadVR price right now is like, okay, if you've done with everything, you don't have any, and you're just like, hey, I want to save for something else, and I want to do a whole new thing. At the price tag it's at now, it's not a bad price.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
I'll tell anyone, if you're thinking about building a MadVR PC, don't do it. Just buy this.
You don't need legit.
You don't need the
I have a
headache.
PC here that I haven't built and all of that, but look, you can't even update the freaking PC, right? You got to disconnect that PC from the wall, because any slight Microsoft update that comes has the potential to just throw off your MadVR PC.
That's why I thought my CEC was broken. I thought it was an Apple update.
No, I'll tell you guys 100%. Like, if you're gonna build a MadVR PC, and that's a thought in your head, this new item completely crushes that.
Oh,
there's zero
like
reason.
Anthony's
That's
saying,
exactly
right?
what I said. That's the target audience right
Anthony
there.
is saying this too. Buy a Mac 1 Pro if you can find it, right?
Yeah.
You're
So
gonna
that's
have
an
to hunt
older
for it.
model. So yeah, Anthony's.
Yeah, but it has more features, right? It has more features than this one, So I would say this, right? My verdict is, if I have $5,000 right now and I was debating the Stratus V, and this came out, I think this has a way better chance of improving my home theater experience than the Stratus VO. To be
Yeah.
honest, and
I agree.
so I
Look,
think
we're not
Especially if
trying to
you've got
compare
kids.
companies to companies, but
No,
I
no.
will 100% agree that, I mean, this is going to, besides, I would say, besides replacing a whole projector, this was probably,
yeah,
the next step in your system to, if you're going to be
Yeah.
replacing equipment and stuff like that, or
yeah.
adding
If you
equipment.
have like an NZ7 or 800 and you're
Right.
thinking about, or NZ8 and you're thinking about getting the 900, maybe just go ahead and get a MadVR, because guess what? You're going to get the 900 and then you're still going to need a cheaper device to enhance it. So stick with what you got. And
JVC is coming closer and closer with these things.
And
I mean,
Let's
I
put it
mean,
this way.
I hate the fact that I keep
If you
using
think,
JVC, but it's still Sony or Epson or any of those projectors out there.
which none of them come
it's
with any processing, so
Yeah.
JVC is a much
Yeah,
better
it's still a
off
much
than any
better
of those.
projector. Yeah, but
the new MadVR is priced in a way that it's a good product, but the newer one is priced in a way that if you are really still blown away by the $5,000 price tag, then it's not for you, and it never will be, because you can do whatever other options you have. But it is priced really well comparatively, and it's.
So I'm just
I
gonna
like the
pull up.
competition. I like the competition, both K-Scape.
So does the
MadVR.
MP1, does that have 2.1?
No.
Right.
Well, it should, because the graphics card is a 40 series card, right? Or is it 30? It's 30 series card, and they usually all come with 2.1.
But yeah, it should.
So I'm just going to bring up this. Anthony said this, right? Outside of the Pretty 2U case, I found no reason for the core to exist. I mean, the alternative was that they were going to have to drop the price of the existing model to a really low point to be able to get new market share, right? So I think it strictly exists because they need more people they want more people to experience it. And there was no way to bring down the Extreme or the Envy down to this price point, right? So you got to come up with a new device.
You
Correct.
can't. That's just
Yeah, there's no way, right? There's really
that's
no way.
marketing, and even if they're, the thing is, marketing and owning a company, and a lot of people haven't ever owned a company. So here's the thing: it's like you can do something that takes X amount of time, right? But the first time you do it, it may take you. If you do something that takes you an hour and you're charging people like $1,000, like, oh, dude, why are you charging me so much money? But to learn to do what you did may take 1,000 hours. So it's like, well, really, it's $10 an hour. So that's but
look at this guy. Yeah, right.
That's a good one. Yeah, exactly.
That's a good one. If there's a $5,000 trade-off, I'll buy it.
It's like, where's my $5,000 friggin' 32-channel processor?
I buy it tomorrow if there's a $5,000. An $8,000 trade-off, I'll buy it.
Competition. That's it. But back to what I was saying, you got corporations have to make money, and it's not just like you have so much goes into marketing, still continuing engineering and support. It's like even just something as simple as a mechanic, right? If change brakes, you could change your own brakes for whatever the price of the material is, right? And then, but the hourly rate and to do it is several, $100, and it's like, oh, why are you charging me so much? And it's like, well. And it only took you 15 minutes to do it. Well, because I've done 1,000 of them, I know how to do it, and I've got a $10,000 lift. There's it's stuff like that people don't also take into account. But it's a great price.
It's a great price.
You could always argue the point, what is the thing? And we don't know that. We don't know their overhead. We don't know how many employees they have. But at at $15,000, it's like, ooh, even that was probably the right price considering how many you sell, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's one of those things.
So it looks like on the auto advice, they're selling some
We
pre-owned.
lost your camera again, Don.
My
So
goodness, this camera is driving me crazy, man.
is it overheated? Do you have the
No.
flap open?
Yeah. I do not know why it keeps cutting off. Ever since I let that guy borrow it from
At M Wave? Yeah, it's
at
back to
M-Wave,
that.
it's been cutting off like that. So I'm gonna have to try to do some
Yeah,
research. on it.
let's take a look and compare because we have the same
So anyway,
camera,
look.
right?
So yeah, so the it looks like the MK1
Yeah, it's a
2080 version.
Nah, it's a
Yeah,
20.
right.
Nah,
So
I'm not doing
that's the
that.
59.95 that you're talking about.
With a 2080, that's wild.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, and then if you want to go to the 3080, now it's 79.95, right? When you're getting a 4080 in the core.
Yeah.
So
The
I
core
see
has
some of your
4060.
point there.
The core has a 4060, not a
4060. Okay,
Yeah.
4060.
which is still better than
I
a
will,
3080.
but I'll say
Right.
like the first two, my laptop has a better graphics card than those two, which is wild.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, but it's
Dude,
not.
I think
it's
your
only doing
phone
limited stuff.
has a
Though.
better graphics. My iPhone 15 has a better graphics card than.
I mean, the
So-
2080 is you're not gaming on the MadVR, but still, I mean, there's 38. There's plenty of options there. It's for what this, for what it does. It's really not as expensive. It's not.
But if you
I
want to
don't think
future proof, that's my challenge is the future proof part of it.
Right.
Like, I'm going to go buy a computer right now. I'm not going to put a damn 2080 in it. Like,
Exactly.
at the end of the day, we're talking about computers. These are computers. They're hell, I can't even remember. They're Silverstone cases with computers built into them. But what you're paying for is, again, the licensing, the expertise, the software, and the hassle-free use of it. Which the
Exactly.
hassle-free use of it for like a K-scape for me, like, nah, fam, I got a UHD disc. I'll pop it in there. That's not that much of a hassle. For this, if I want the best picture I could possibly, there you go, Ike. If I want the best picture I could possibly get, I'm not screwing around like, hey, sweetie, it's movie night. You want to watch a movie? Okay, sit here for an hour where I screw around with my
Yeah.
PC to make it work right.
Like, oh
Like
man,
that.
I just got a Microsoft update. Now I got to
Right.
Yeah,
Well, it's not
man.
even that. It's screwing around with different aspect. Like,
Yeah,
it just doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't just work. It doesn't just work. And Kscape does just work. It's just not worth it to me because also my UHD works without having to mess with it. But and I'm sorry, Don, because I know you resell Kscape. But in all honesty, I'm again coming from a legit geek. Like this at 5K, 6K.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so tempted. I'm so torn right now because I was really got to a point where I'm like,
I was
I'm
really
done.
thinking about the Stratus V, and then I saw this one, and I'm like, no, I think I'll get the MadVR
Yeah,
first.
in your
then
case,
get the
I
Stratus V.
in your case, you got you have the NZ7,
I
right?
have the NZ7.
Yeah. So in your case, this is going to be a dramatic change for you.
Yeah, it would help me maximize right now. It doesn't
Yes.
improve your lumen. It doesn't change contrast ratio or lumen. It just helps you maximize.
It
What
almost
Yeah,
your projector
and like you said,
has.
Eric, I'm a Kaleidoscape dealer, but if Ike came to me and said, "Which one should I buy?" It's 100% all day long. The MadVR, right?
Yep.
Because-
and this benefits people like me that have an Epson with higher lumen already, because then you can, frame by frame.
Yep.
It's like I already got the brightness, but even then, I don't have the full Dolby Vision brightness or the HDR10 because projectors don't, regardless if they're labeled that or not. But it's like, oh wow, now you're getting even more pop, more color.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I know several people that own video processors, and every single one of them will tell you to your face that they are the best product in their rack is the video processor, whether it be the Lumigen or the MadVR.
And I actually feel sorry for Lumigen right now too, because there are a lot of people who consider Lumigen the cheaper entry point, right? But then you still have to be kind of hands-on, a little more technical, right, with
Correct.
Lumigen, to be able to use it. This just shows up now and does what the Lumigen does to at
Well,
least,
I wouldn't say totally what it does. I mean,
no, I
there's
mean, yeah,
the Lumigen you can
to a
use as a
large
switcher. This
extent.
one you cannot.
Yeah, to a large extent, it does what the Lumigen does, but then you still don't need to be technical, right?
Right.
About it, and it feels like a newer
And
generation.
there's several presets
device.
in this thing too that you can set up, and so the good thing is you can't break it, right? So you just set up your presets, save them, and you can't break it. You can recall, your presets and all kind of stuff like that. It stores all your previous presets. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a great product. I definitely want to get my hands on one. I'm not going to say that I'm going to have one anytime soon, just because I already have the Lumigen. But I thought about possibly putting the Lumigen up on on the eBay or wherever to sell it and purchase one of these. But I'm not sure. I would like to. I would like to
sell it
see
to me, man. I might go on a Cloudera, 6-month
I would.
payment plan.
I would. I would like to see. Your interest rate is 38%.
I don't mind. Just give me 6 months to pay. I'll pay. But yeah, but I think we flogged this. To me, this is a better. This will provide.
It's hard to argue.
Yeah.
Ike, it's hard to argue. They're two completely separate products.
Right.
My one question, if the purchasing of it gets the better of me, Don, do you resell this? I don't even know if you resell MadVR. If you do, I better get a hookup, man.
No, I'm not. I'm not a MadVR
I know
distributor,
someone
but
that sells
I
MadVR direct or
yes.
MadVR.
But yeah, I mean, we can. I'm think once I got the theater up and running, I was going to reach out to them, to, bring them on board, obviously, and a couple other brands.
Ryan, Ryan.
Yeah, but he doesn't resell because
He doesn't sell because he works for
He
them.
works with them.
Yeah,
right?
he works for
He
them.
can sell. So
He doesn't sell them directly, but I'm sure he could.
He can send you to someone, obviously.
Yeah, but I'm sure Don knows someone who knows someone.
Yeah,
so it's
I mean,
always easy.
I can send you to Matt. I know Matt's Matt Brylick that was on here.
Yeah, Brylick.
Brylick Media. I can send you to him.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people that you might be able to. I think Jeremy Tech Tuesdays might be
dealer for them, or are they not? Is Dream Media?
Dream Media might be. Yeah, I think
Dream Media is
because they're on the website. Because I checked.
So if you know Chana, he's a dealer.
Tech Tuesdays. Okay, I think Tech works with. He does through Audio Advice, so it's gonna be.
Not going to talk trash, but as long as Dream Media has that front man, I'm good.
Yeah. So but I think final verdict is this is a good device. I'm comfortable with the price point. Like, I don't think I sat back and said, "Oh, damn it, no." I'm very comfortable with this price
unless you
point.
get it for free, you can always argue the price.
Yeah. Which is true too. So yeah. Yeah, but I'm comfortable with the price point. I don't think, again.
Yeah.
There's
room there that it could be argued, but at this point, even me, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a.
And with the graphics card it has, there's plenty of room for upgrades, right? If they choose to give it out. So yeah. Why not?
I wonder how easy it would be to go ahead and install a better graphics card into there.
No, you can't open the case.
They're not going to let you. Once you open it, you void
that's
your warranty, man.
So part of their licensing, Don, is going to be they have to have intrusion. If you go in there, it
Yeah.
breaks the HGCP. You can't get into that case.
You can't
It's
get
just like
into that case, but you'll destroy
let's
it.
go back. Let's go back 40 years ago for a VCR. Like you were breaking. I don't know. VCR is a bad example, but yeah, you're not getting in there to break the
Yeah.
HGCP string because you could tap into that. So
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
honestly that's probably one of the expenses. They probably have an EEPROM on there that's basically, think of it like a piece of software that's on a chip that
Yeah.
is serialized to the actual graphics card to allow the licensing to work.
Yeah, so Sammy says you can't do that. If you do it, it deactivates the license. Yep.
Yeah, I'm even surprised that they announced the graphics card in it. I think earlier they used to hold the graphics card to chest, right? Like we used to have to speculate what was in what particular graphics card. A lot of people obviously knew, but I was surprised when I saw that they announced 4060 with the announcements too. I'm like, oh, okay.
I think they've grown. I honestly like what I see in a lot of this announcement and what they did and didn't share. They didn't share processing power because I think that's less important.
Yeah.
What more important part is the graphics power that they're providing because that's what this device is intended for. I think they've grown. Like they were scrutinized on certain things, weren't scrutinized on other things, and I think there was somebody even in the chat talking about processing power. Processing power doesn't matter as much as
Doesn't
video
matter
processing.
with that graphic card.
Yeah, as
Right.
long
And
as
NVIDIA.
it can push, they could throw me an i5. I don't give a shit. Like as long as it's got the graphics power to push what I'm
dude,
doing.
my new QNAP has a quick sync 760 or something like that, and it down codes 4K to 280p.
Oh, it's transcoding. Wow, that's impressive.
It has the capability. It doesn't have to. It's just if you don't have the bandwidth or if you don't have the device that can play native 4K, it has to transcode. It forces it.
Oh.
And yeah, it can transcode. I tested it. I forced it to down code all the way to 280.
When Paul and I are out of here, guys, like we just get so geeky. It just gets technical. Like, I just see eyes glazing over.
That is true.
But hey, family, I appreciate y'all. I gotta jump, but thank y'all so much. I appreciate you having me, and I'll see you guys soon.
Good to have you on. Yeah.
Thanks for joining, Eric. Appreciate you.
Yeah, but I think it's a great device, man.
So I got a question. Prescott, Sammy Prescott. Have I met him?
Prescott,
before?
you need to hop on, Sammy. Come on, man. I'll send you a link. Come join us, Sammy.
I was like,
come join us and talk about this thing.
I've been trying to book Sammy, man.
I'm like, is he a calibrator?
Yeah, Sammy's a calibrator.
Okay, I was like the icon on his thing. I was like, have I met him before, or is it just the logo is so familiar? I was like, on his whatever his handle or you.
He was okay. No, you weren't at CDR, but he was at CDR, and he's always traveling. He travels across the nation.
Oh, maybe I've seen him
calibrating projectors and all that.
I was like, the name looks familiar, and then I was like, well, that logo. He obviously does some video calibration there. So
yeah, Paul is Don is having fun time with this this camera.
That time I saw the message, it said internal temp too high. So,
well, that's
which I don't know why. I mean, I've ran this camera for 15 hours, at a time before. I've never had a problem.
We need to compare the settings.
To blow on it, man.
Yeah, they probably changed something in the settings that we can get together and compare it.
Okay, maybe I read some article. Okay, that might be what it is. Okay.
Yeah, Sammy is an industry expert, man. He's all over. He's all over the place.
I was like,
I wish I could do a poll here, man. But quickly though, if you're in the chat, let us know if you had $5,000 of the two brand new devices, which would you buy? I'm interested in seeing what people would, which do you think would improve your home theater experience?
And why would you not buy why would you buy it over the other one? And in like my case, right? I could easily say I would do the MadVR because I already have my own, disc to digital media.
There's my vote.
and
Yeah, 'cause you sell it.
Yeah, and you would do that.
That's not because I sell it.
No, I'm
You've
joking,
already
but
got
no, you already have the
besides that,
Lumigen, so that's what.
and you already have a Lumigen.
Yeah, you have a
So,
Lumigen, and
in your use case, it absolutely makes sense, right? In both of our use cases, you're like, well, I
Right.
already got a Lumigen, so I don't
Right.
really need the MadVR. And yeah, it does obviously help, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that
now
it's not
this is
just
one
because you're
area.
a
This is
sellout.
one area where I don't know. I'll defer to Sammy, right? But if you have an OLED
No,
TV,
if you have a
like,
a
you're not-
comparable
what-
OLED TV,
yeah, what are
no.
you going to benefit the linear straight? You don't have, it's not going to do. Like, you're going to utilize less of it, right? Of the features.
The Strato would definitely be better for your OLED.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have OLED, then I mean,
There's
if
so
you get
much-
it, you're only going to be using 50% of the features, and probably even
Not
less.
even, yeah. I mean, at that point, it's one of those things where yes, you could still do it. You could still use it. It still would be a thing for someone that just has, like, hey, I got an extra $100,000 I want to spend in my, theater and, the wall total, panel, but. It's just one of those things where just for your average consumer, if you have a good OLED, it's like you have infinite contrast already.
Yeah, so Kevin is saying he'll go with the MadVR. The 1 terabyte for the Kscape is not enough storage. Anthony already has a MadVR, but he'll go with a MadVR also.
Yeah, like I mean, the Kaleidoscape V is not to store movies. It's not to think of it as a storage. Not to think of it as a storage. It's to highlight your top 10 movies, to put yourself some scripts together, for you to have your friends come over. It's to rent movies and let them go. Or it's to just watch the newest movie and let the other ones rest in the cloud until you can. You just download it again.
I like the Strato V. I like it. It's at the right spot. I can't even hate on them for that. I like it. It's at a decent enough price point. Now, is it still all of it? Dude, home theater is a freaking niche.
Yeah.
I think it's great that we're just getting products prior to Stadia, right? I mean,
for me, I love the fact that we're seeing options. Come on, Trinov, we're waiting on you, man. See there.
I know. Oh man, that was the best comment.
Give us a 16 channel Trinov.
$5,000 Trinov.
Give us a 16 channel Trinov.
See, that's where I think the processing matters.
I'll take that.
Honestly, no, it's not. It's not even. That's all software. It's all proprietary software. It's not even a processor, dude.
Yeah, it's a software.
If you looked at a Trinov,
but that's what I'm saying. That's I would wait until they upgraded that processor.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's an i5. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
dude,
an i7.
The cheapest cell phone
an
you can buy
i5
right
is a powerful processor, bro.
1,000 times more powerful. Than
it's
that.
only mapping your speakers and mapping your output. Like, what else does it need?
It
doesn't need an
i7. And the
like, what do you want on it? An i9? Like, what
I would like an i9 in it. Yes.
You're not playing Black Ops on it. Like, you're not playing Call of Duty on your Trinov, man. Like,
well, now you can like the Strato V, like Anthony is saying. I get what he's saying, but you can still do it on your phone, which I know that is annoying, and I totally agree with that. But can't you? Well, let me ask, because the Zadoo can do this. You can pull up your phone, go to a web browser, browse through the movies on your Zadoo, and hit play, and it will tell your device to play. Can you or can you not do that from the app on the Strato V?
I'm sorry, I was reading Anthony's thing there. I just want to clarify, Anthony. You can download and play back at the same time, so without affecting the playback or the download speed. So you can do that. Paul, can you repeat your question? I apologize. I was reading this.
Well, it was the same question dealing with it. So I get where people, it's like, oh, I don't have the poster wall on my interface, right? Which I get. That is, to share and do whatever. But you could pull up either a iPad or Android tablet, whatever, and be browsing through your thing, right? And you can do this on a Zadoo, right? You can browse from just a web page on your device, all your media that you have. And then whenever you select like a poster that you want, you can hit play, and it'll play it on there. So you can sit there and browse. You don't have to go browse, then go to the device on your TV and say, hey, download this, and then wait for it. You can literally just, hey, play this movie, and it should start
this is another important point that I think we tend to gloss over, that Randy just made here, right? Certain people, right?
Look, Anthony, you can download and watch the same movie. I know that from the previous. Now, obviously, it has to calculate your bandwidth and it buffers. But yes, I believe you can. Correct me if I'm wrong, Don. You can actually watch a movie that you are actively downloading at the same time.
So I've not tried to do that. Obviously, like I said, I got the V.
That was a feature,
but I don't know why you would. What is the
what's
the use case of that?
Like, why would you?
Well, because I don't want to wait 10 minutes. I just want to. Oh, I don't have that, and I get it. I get where he's coming from, right? Where I have 1,000 movies, right? But I can only have 10 in the hopper. But the one I want to watch tonight, I don't have in the hopper. So delete, download. But I don't want to wait 10 minutes. I'm watching a chick flick right now. I got like 20 seconds to keep the mood going. Whatever the case may be. I'm just making shit up now. But you can start playing after like 30 seconds or a minute, and it's still downloading in the background. I'm pretty sure that is the case with the.
Well, Anthony is saying he doesn't know if the V can do that, but the others might be able to do that.
I'm trying to figure out what the use case of that is, though.
That's a question.
I'm trying to figure out what the use case of that is. So let's just call it. I'm watching Quiet Place, the new Quiet Place.
No, the use case is you have 10,000 movies in Kaleidoscape Library.
Right.
You have 0 downloaded. Someone comes over. What movie do you want to watch? All right, let's watch. Do I wait 10 minutes, or let's just say you don't have friggin' a gig or 2 gig internet. You have 200 meg internet, right? Okay, it buffers for a minute, and then you can start watching. But it's still downloading in the background.
No, and so I think the entire movie. It will not do the advance. The entire movie has to be downloaded for you to be able to play it back.
Man, see, they need to add that feature, man, because that's a big thing. Because I know you don't realize that that's a use case, but that's like having your library almost instantly, like a minute versus 10 minutes. And that doesn't sound like a lot. Oh, I can make popcorn. And
just watch a couple of pre-rolls,
look,
give it time to download.
I can tell you that I've literally watched 0 movies that I haven't pre-downloaded earlier that morning on my Kaleidoscape. I've not waited the 45 minutes for it to download, and I probably even though I have the V, I probably still won't do it that way. I'll go ahead and get it set up. Okay. I'm Bad Boys. I want to watch Bad Boys tonight. I'll have all that set up while I'm sitting at work on my lunch hour. I'll, have everything downloaded for me by the time I come home.
What if you got a hot date over and she wants to watch a movie and you happen to have it in your catalog,
you got on the
wrong.
You already asked the guy from Kaleidoscape, did they have a certain content, and he changed the subject. So you're putting on the wrong movie.
It only comes in handy for that type of content. But
Fred has a different movie to watch every night.
But
Doesn't
I
have them
need to bring this.
all
I need to bring this
downloaded.
up. I need to bring this up by Randy, right? So he said something that I kind of also agree with a lot.
1000% agree with.
Is it depends on what your preference is. Like for me, right? I always feel like I don't need to have the 100% best speaker system, but I'm a sucker for visuals. I want to have the best video quality possible, right? And for some people, it's the sound, right? So
For me, this is sound.
yeah, a lot of people, it's the sound. You can do like a 90% sound and then 80% video quality or
And I'm not
70%.
even. I'm all about the experience. I want everyone to have a good time. I don't care about either. If it's, like we had a meet over at my place, a small one, and we watched. It was the movie with Sandra Bullock, and it was a chick flick type of thing. I forget what it was, but they had this armored vehicle, and a dude jumps down inside of it, and that was like one of the most bassy moments of the whole movie. We all just started laughing, and that's what made it funny. It was an experience, right? We were all having a good experience. But if you were just watching on a TV, you wouldn't even know that dude jumping down into the armored vehicle made like the biggest, bassiest. It was like, oh, what the hell? That was the moment that they chose to do the bassiest scene. Like, it was bassier than any explosion that they had in the movie. I can't remember the damn. It's on my server. I'd have to look it up. But anyways, and the lighting and the picture and stuff like that. Like that's the reason I bought the new couch. Because now I can do five seats wide. Versus before it was really just two, really three. But I just want people to have an experience, and I am still a sucker for actual story and lyrics, right? Like when I'm listening to music, I can totally jam to something that has a really awesome beat. I can totally do that. I can get down with that. But once I can listen to a song or watch a movie, and if it speaks to me and my experiences in my life, that trumps all of this that we talk about, that we're hobbyists over, right? It's just
yeah. Look, for me, it's all about the demo tracks, man. It's crazy, but I feel like there's a bunch of people that just invest so heavily in their home theater just so that they can keep listening to the same demo tracks over and over, and they don't care about the storyline in the movie and all that kind of stuff, right? It's just hey, I just want to show it off and enjoy it, but if I'm watching a movie, I always want the best. I always want the best video quality I think I can get.
There's nothing wrong with it, and that's where, to me, like, I totally appreciate someone that's showing off, no matter what it is, either K-scape, ease of use, and your lighting, your volume, your bass, I can't appreciate all of that. It's one of those things where it's like, well, it's fun as long as it's fun for you. Yeah, but if you are just doing it to try to say that I'm better than you, and you see that a lot, unfortunately.
Isn't that why you have your OF account, Paul? Just to tell everybody.
It's the opposite. It's the opposite for me, though. My OF account is more like, hey, look at how small this is, and look at how happy I am.
Next topic. I gone too far, man.
Yep. Hey, I'm like, yo, hey, I can be this confident. I don't know what your problem is,
Oh, man. Yeah, but unfortunately, guys, we had a home theater scheduled, but Jeff's had a storm come through. Chris, my home theater was also
last night, and if he
Gosh,
got
and
what
I
I
can't
got
keep
in
my
theory,
camera on.
Yeah, Chris, my home theater was
I think it's
also.
I think it's an auto filter. It's a theater not done filter, so it
Yeah,
keeps shutting off. It's
Chris,
like, oh,
Chris, my home theater was supposed to join us too, but he started having technical problems. Dave was also supposed to join us, but he wasn't feeling well. So we had 3 guests
Yeah.
scheduled for today, but it looks like, it was a
Hey,
perfect
things
storm.
happen,
It was a perfect
what I do
storm.
want to say is that we have Casey scheduled for next week, home theater tour.
Oh yeah, and he
And
has
then he has a very nice
he
theater.
has everything we've been talking about.
Yep.
Everything.
And then we'll probably try to get Jeff back on the following week. But we
Yes.
are open after that. So if you would like to be a guest on the show, please reach out to us at hometheaterhublive@gmail.com. We definitely need some guests to fill up the rest of August. So please don't be bashful. Come and share your theater with us.
Yeah.
We'd love to see whether you have a sound bar or you have, a 5.5.1 or a 4.6. It doesn't matter to us. We just want to enjoy what you enjoy.
Yeah.
So come in, have a discussion about, whatever the topic is that day. Be a guest on the show. We would appreciate that. So with that being said, thank you everyone for joining the show this evening. Sorry we're going to cut it a little short just due to some guests having some difficulties, including myself with my camera because I'm about to throw it
Hey,
across
Don,
the room.
quickly before there was a question.
Don's about to throw a temper tantrum.
There was a question that had come up earlier on. I just wanted to
Okay.
address it.
Yeah, let's address the
The
question.
Revolution Player Mini. We should be getting one sometime at the end of the month, and it should be coming out sometime in the
So
coming months.
I've also reached out to Raphael. Raphael wants to come on the show, so
Okay.
we'll try to get that set up
Do we
here
need
in
to pre-record for his time on that? Or
He's currently in the U.S., so
It's
if we
currently
can
in the
catch
U.S. I don't know
Yeah.
how long, but we'll definitely find out and try to get
we're
him
gonna
on
have
to talk about it.
Dude, that dude's a cool dude. He's a fun guy. He's
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, so I'd like to get him on, even if we have to do a separate live stream, to
Mhm.
accommodate for his schedule. But yeah, so yeah, I we got him in the works. Love to see some other tours. I know we've gotten away from them here for a little bit, but that's what I have always enjoyed the most about YouTube is checking out the tours. So just to give me inspiration for what I'm trying to build and do. So, but
yeah.
thanks again.
But,
Please
yeah.
subscribe to all of our channels.
Yep. Hit that
Easy
like
HD.
button. That helps really, really well when you hit that like button, and it helps YouTube push it out to other viewers, right? It shows that there's interest in it. So,
Oh, special thanks to Siphonics.
yeah.
I was sitting at 666 for my subscribers, and I said, "Somebody please subscribe."
And what did he do? Unsubscribe?
No, he subscribed.
Okay, you're good. You're at 665.
So special thanks to him. I don't know if he subscribed. He should have already been subscribed, but maybe he did it on his personal account also.
Yeah.
So prior. So, but thank you for taking care of that for me. So I'm a little superstitious. So, but yeah. So all right, everyone. Thank you for joining this evening. Appreciate it. Sorry it's a short show, but we will be back next week with a home theater tour as long as equipment works properly.
Yeah.
So
Thanks
again.
Yeah. Bye.